Hello, YouTube. We are back for the attack in relation to the X-Men #1 owned by Saucedogcomics. This is going to be a very good upload. We're going to do some leaf casting. So what I want to do is I'm on the side of my work layer here, and I have my shelving units. So let's take that out. And what we want to do is we want to open up the shelving units. Let's make sure that the camera's picking it up. There we go, nice in the middle. And inside these shelving units are the first two wraps of the X-Men #1. Now, the first two wraps of X-Men #1 were cleaned and deacidified and flattened out with the bookbinding press. I want to leaf cast both of these wraps. And the reason why we have to leaf cast both of the wraps is because there are some missing pieces that need to be filled. And if we're going to do a full conservation, we might as well do it right. So this is right here. I don't know if this is I believe this is the first wrap of the book. Let's flip it around. And here we go. Yes, this is the first wrap of the book. And it looks pretty nice. Nice and clean. Nice, nice, nice. This is what I want to see. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the spine. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it from the front of the first wrap or from the reverse side. Usually I like to do it from the reverse side because the leaf casting is hidden with the wrap that's in front of the wrap that you leaf casted. But for a first page of a book, generally speaking, I like to do it on the side that is going to be covered by the cover. So we'll figure that out because I'm not going to do the first wrap today. We're going to do the second wrap, which is going to require more leaf casting. Now, if you notice, I have two wraps between my shelving units. And I also separate the wraps with my plastic sheets. And if you watched my channel, you know that these are what I use for leaf casting. And they're very good for pressing as well because they're nice and flat and smooth. So here we go. This is the second wrap of the X-Men #1. And this is going to require more intense leaf casting. So let's open it up. Let's remove the remain. Nice and slow. And there you go. There is the wrap that we're going to focus on in today's upload. Now, how are we going to do it? The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at it, and we have to leaf cast this section right here. I'm going to leaf cast this missing piece. This area here on the corners, I'm not going to leaf cast because I'm going to leave this area with the chipping on the wraps. I'm not going to touch it. And the reason why is because if you can see, hopefully the camera's picking it up, we really do not have a big area to work with. And I don't want to cover the graphics with the leaf casting. You see how this side, there's more of a border. I would be able to leaf cast this better. This side, we're tight. So there's really not a lot of room to leaf cast it. Perhaps by flipping the wrap around, I can see, and maybe it's different, and for some reason the wrap is sticking onto the Reme. And actually, this is not Reme, this is Holly text that it's on. So I'm going to gently take my tool and I'm going to slowly release it from the Holly text. And right there, a small tear developed. That happens. And what we're going to have to do is we'll repair that with some Tengojo when we do the leaf casting. So you slowly run your tool. Let's actually get the longer one. And let's remove this gently from the Holly text that it's been in the press. And I believe that there may have been some form of glue on the first wrap. I'm not sure, because there was some stickiness, and maybe Saucedogcomics can explain if he comments while watching this. But for some reason, it is adhering to the Holly text, which is no big deal, because you just take your time. And I know I've said this in the past, that you have to take your time in removing the page. Sometimes you just can't rip it off because more damage will occur. So again, I do think that there was some form of adhesive on this, and this usually happens when there is some form of adhesive. And I believe I was told that there was glue on the first and second page, if I am correct. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because we're going to fix it. We're going to leaf cast it, and by the time I'm done with it, it's going to look nice and clean and fresh with new pulp on the wrap. And hopefully this book will get a conserved grade. I don't have any reason or doubt why it shouldn't. I'm sure right now CGC is more concerned with other issues in relation to reholdering and the scams that are going on, and hopefully we'll be able to slip through without any issue and get our conserved grade for Saucedogcomics. Now, if you recall, I did another major key. I did the first appearance of Dr. Doom, and that was for Bronzeville Comics. And what happened with that book was that it came back restored. But then Jim from the channel resubmitted the book, and after he resubmitted the book without any cracking, oh, actually he cracked it, I'm sorry. He resubmitted the book and it came back as a conserved grade. That was the right grade that should have came back. So what I'm experiencing now, I believe that there was adhesive on this wrap, and it loosened up with the cleaning, and it basically is forming on this spine right here, and it came loose on the Reme that I'm using. So this Reme right here, guess what, is going to be crumbled up, and it's going into the garbage. I'm not even going to use it for scrap or what I usually use Reme for, that's old and not good for leaf casting. I use it a lot of times to make colors of the pulp and things of that nature. We're not going to do that. So I decided that we're going to concentrate on this side. We're going to leaf cast this side of the wrap, regardless of what side this wrap is. Either it's facing the centerfold or it's facing the cover. I don't care. I want to cover this spine, and then we'll work into this area here, and then I'll be able to go over this little rip, and really we'll try to preserve as much graphics as possible. Now, getting to the next issue is that I worked very hard for the pulp color. And what does that mean? Well, the first pulp color was this. That doesn't match. Then I did another color. 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 And then I did another color. And then I did another color. So right there, guys, this is what it takes to do the right color match for the pulp. So each one of these colors, these test discs that I made, and I made last upload in relation to this book, you see how intricate it is. And I add different colors, I add different pulps, I add different things to modify the color of the pulp in order to have the best matching pulp as possible. And this is the best pulp color I feel for the X-Men. It's right here, okay? And this is what we're going to use. So I believe this is the last color that I have. And this is what we're going to use for the wrap. And hopefully it matches up nicely. Now I'm looking, and the problem is that the first wrap of the X-Men right here is not the same. It's not from the same book, okay? And it's right here on the side. So here is the first wrap, and you can see there is a little difference in color between this one and the second wrap. So we'll adjust it maybe, and we'll tinker with it, but this is what we're going to deal with right now. We're going to deal with this one. So I'm going to stop the camera. I'm going to get the leaf casting table set up, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to start leaf casting that wrap, and that's all that we're going to do for this upload. But it's going to be a long one, guys. So hang out. I'll be right back, and let's get things rolling. Okay, guys, we are back, and get ready for a little magic, because now we're going to do the leaf casting. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take some of the paper pulp, and I want to put it in my squeeze bottle. So what I'm going to do is just pulse the pulp a little bit. And that's good enough, just to shake it up a little bit. And then we're going to pour it in to the squeeze bottle so we can use it. And that's why I have the paper towel there, to prevent it from getting onto the grate. We don't want that to happen. So let's get rid of this, and let's get everything set up. The next thing we want to do is I want to put a piece of, this is Hollytex. And I like to use Hollytex during the leaf casting process because the Hollytex is good and smooth. It's a lot smoother than the Rame, and it prevents wrinkling or lines to indent into the page that you are leaf casting. So this is the page right here. There's plenty of space, the perimeter, because we're not going around. This is a little small, this piece, for my liking, but I'm okay with it, okay, because I'm not doing the perimeter. If I was going to do a full perimeter, I would not use this piece of Hollytex. I would go bigger to spread it out. Spread it out so I can cut it, but we're only doing localized pieces. So what I want to do now, guys, is I'm going to put the vacuum on, because I want suction on the document before I start putting water on it, because I want to suck it down so I can get it flat as possible. So it's going to be noisy from this point forward. Initially, we're gonna shut it off because it's definitely sucking the document down. What I want to do is I want to lift one side just like this so I can straighten this out with water to make it flat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a pretty easy leaf casting procedure, and hopefully it will turn out nicely. I think it will. So as you can see, I leaf casted the areas that are missing. I leaf casted the whole spine, and I like to feather it out, the casting, to blend it in better to the existing paper. So what do we want to do now? What we want to do, and you have to excuse me, I feel a little run down today. I am back from being in court all day, and there's a lot of people who were just not being agreeable. So I tried to deal with issues, and it wasn't easy today. Okay, so what are we going to do now? So I have the leaf casting. I installed it. I'm a little unhappy with the way this wrap is not laying flat, but I think the book binding press will take care of that, so we'll be in good shape with that. So now what I want to do is I want to rest a piece of holly text on top of this wrap so we can gently massage the pulp into the page that we leaf casted. But before that, I want to remind everyone, hit the like button, subscribe. Only 60%, or actually 40% of the people who watch the upload are subscribed to the channel. So that means 60% is not subscribed. Listen, when you hit the sub button and I get more subscribers, it makes me feel happy. It validates what I'm doing and providing the content. Am I making money? No, I'm making a little money doing these uploads, but it's just for the joy of the hobby. So, like I said, give it a thumbs up, share it, like, comment, and hit the subscribe button. It's very easy to do. It's not difficult. You don't have to pay for it. So what I want to do now is I want to stop the video. I'll be right back because I want to take a picture of this for the thumbnail. So I'll be right back. Okay, I took my thumbnail picture. It's a lot to run a YouTube channel. You have to do the thumbnail. I have to go and make those silly thumbnails with my models that I use because I'm not a YouTuber who really wants to show my face. It's not about me. It's not about my face and showing it and making points in different directions or confused looks or things of that nature. What my channel is about, it's about the comics. So that's why I have my models, my lady friend models that I use for the thumbnails. And it's not like I haven't shown my face before. I have. I've been on many interviews, Gary B, Night Tiger. I think I was on Rob Fat Stack's channel on Saturday showing off the books. That was really cool. So I've been online showing my face, but just with what I'm doing now with this sort of thing, I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put a piece of paper towel. Don't tell my wife because there's always complaints in my household that we don't have paper towels. Where are all the paper towels? I buy paper towels and they disappear. You know why? Because I take them and I go through one roll after the other and doing this stuff. So by subscribing and me making my little money on YouTube, I'll be able to buy more supplies. So if there's no reason other than that, hit the sub button. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to put the vacuum on and we're going to suck it down and we're going to draw out some of the moisture. Okay guys, that's it. So instead of ending the upload, let's end the upload with me putting the wrap between the shelving units, getting it ready for the press. And I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. I know I've done this a zillion times, but the funny thing is, no matter how many times I do it, I get new viewers and they're happy in the comments saying, wow, I never saw you do that before. And that's cool. And what that means is that there's more viewers who are coming to the channel, and that makes it all worth it, because I want to provide quality entertainment. That's my main objective. And this is how it is validated by people saying, I never saw you do that. That's cool. Let me adjust the lights a little bit so you can see what I'm doing without the glare from above. So in the studio, we're high tech here. We have some high tech lights, all different areas. So I don't know if this is too dark, but I think for our purposes now, it's better than having the reflection of the ring light and things like that. I don't like when that happens. Okay, so let's set up the lights. There you go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. And we'll do this nice and quick. So what I want to do is I want to plug this in because we don't have enough light. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take one roll of paper towel, just like that. Then I'm going to gently take out the leaf casted wrap from the grate. We're going to lift it up, make sure we get it firm. I hope the camera's getting this. And I'm going to put it down on the paper towel, just like that. Okay. And let's make it actually bigger so we can see what we're doing here. Just like that. Okay. Now, these wrinkles in the Polytex I'm not concerned with, because once I put it down in the press, this is going to be flat as a pancake. Then I'm going to take my second piece of plastic that I use, and then what we'll do is we will put the second shelving unit on it. Now I'll bring it over to my bookbinding press, and I'm going to put it in the bookbinding press, and I'm going to wrench down on it. In the past, when I used to do leaf casting, I used to use the rolling pin and various other devices. Here you go. Here's the rolling pin I'm referring to, in order to smooth out the leaf casting. But since I have the bookbinding press, it's not necessary to do, because the pressure of the bookbinding press takes care of that issue for me. So I just wrench down on it, and that's it, guys. So we're done with this upload. It's a long one, and what I'll do is I will start the next upload with us looking at the results, and maybe I'll do an upload with various other steps in cleaning up the wrap when it's drying, because it's just not putting it in the press and leaving it. You have to change the paper towels, and then right when it gets to the right moment, I like to remove the Polytex and just put it on the plastic. So stay tuned, hit that sub button, appreciate your support, and I'll see you soon.